said, you know that's how you talk about being in an energy-rich state or a peak state? I said, yeah. He said, what if we called those beautiful states? I said, that works. A beautiful state is any high-energy state. It's not just happiness, because if you're happy all the time, your face hurts. Who's ever been so happy, smiling, your face hurt after everything we do, right? So the human nervous system needs variety, but it doesn't have to be variety from negative to positive. It can be varieties of beautiful states or peak states. For example, is love a beautiful state? Is courage a beautiful state? Is determination a beautiful state? Is kindness a beautiful state? Is gratitude a beautiful state? Any state that's high energy, no one has to tell you what to do. You'll do the right thing automatically. Make sense? Then he said to me, he's a good friend of mine, I could feel this was going somewhere. He says to me, well, what if those low energy states, those energy poor states, by the way, energy poor is much worse than financial poor. Financial poor you can turn it around, but if you have no energy, you're not gonna be able to turn it anywhere, right? Because what if those low states, those shitty states, those energy poor states, what if we call those suffering? I was like, something inside me is like, I don't suffer, I'm an achiever, we don't even get fearful, we just get stressed. I didn't like that word suffering. How many of you don't like the word suffering related to you? Right? Victims love suffering, but most people wouldn't be here if that was your mindset. So interestingly enough, I said, so you're saying any low energy state, pissed off, frustrated, overwhelmed, is suffering. And obviously I have negative states I go into, and my most common ones are pissed off and frustrated. And so I was like, you're saying I'm suffering. That's bullshit. I don't suffer. I just, look, right now, I got 54 companies. I got, approaching 2,000 employees. You know what? All I needed to get unhappy was this. Because I could turn up and go, oh, fuck, oh, yeah, oh, Jesus, oh, that's exciting, oh, Jesus, oh. Who can relate? Here's a question. What are the chances that out of my, let's say, 1,680 employees that we have right now in total, of those, say, 1,700 employees, what are the chances somebody's fucking up right now somewhere in the world? 0 to 100%. Tell me what the percentage is. 100%, because that many moving parts. If fucked up means doing something I don't think they should be doing. So listen to me. I realize how cheap my happiness was. I go, I'm not suffering. If you'd asked me 3 years ago before you had this conversation with me, do I suffer? I would have laughed. I have 4 amazing kids. I have 4 grandkids. I have the most amazing wife. I have the most amazing life. I have a mission. I got my vitality and strength in my health. I've got, financial freedom. I'm doing what I love most. I'm not suffering. And I would have been insincere. I would have been authentic in telling you that because I didn't see that I suffered because it wasn't consistent with my definition of myself. Because I go, being pissed off and frustrated when you got this many moving parts and people fuck up, that's part of life. No, that's what most people call part of life. That's why most people are unhappy. That's why most people don't get their goals. That's why most people, even when they get their goals, are not fulfilled. I need a higher standard. And when he saw this, I said, where are you going? He goes, I have this spiritual vision. And he said, my spiritual vision is I want to live every day in a beautiful state no matter what. Even when injustice comes. Because will injustice come, yes or no? Even if people fuck up. Even if somebody's unkind. Are people going to be unkind? Are people going to screw up, yes or no? Are you going to screw up, yes or no? We are. So if your happiness is, listen to me now. If your happiness and fulfillment is dependent upon other people behaving a certain way all the time, it's not going to happen. You cannot sustain happiness. How many can see that? If you can see it right now, say I. But if you made a decision, maybe the most important decision in your life without being dramatic, I've always believed the most important decision you make is what you decide to believe about life and God and people. I've always believed the most important decision you make is who you're going to spend time with. Because who you spend time with is who you become. But I've come to realize there's a higher decision. And the higher decision is, will you decide to live in a beautiful state no matter what every day? Because I got to tell you something, billionaires are a dime a dozen. There's a new billionaire in the US every 5 days. There's a new billionaire in China every 6 days. What I can tell you is really unique is somebody who really loves life every day no matter what, even when people are shitty to them. And that kind of person is exquisite. That kind of person is more than a fucking billionaire. That person is really wealthy. How many follow what I'm talking about here? Say I. And here's the question. Not everybody's meant to be a billionaire. Not everybody has the skills to become a billionaire. Not everybody wants to be a billionaire. But every human being could live in a beautiful state. Now I want to ask you a question. If you could live in a beautiful state every day, like Beautiful state doesn't mean you never get upset. It just means if you get upset, you snap out of it immediately by finding something you can appreciate. Are there many things in your life right now you can be appreciating in this moment if you wanted to, yes or no? Are there things out of this day that you can feel appreciative of, yes or no? Are there people you love that you can feel appreciative of? But it's not on your list. What's on your list is to make more money, grow your business, find that perfect relationship, get these fucking kids straightened out, whatever. And what I'm suggesting to you is, if you did it from a beautiful state, you'd have 10 times more energy to do it. And you wouldn't have the scarcity that makes people not want to do business with you, because they can feel it. Just like a woman can feel a guy that's after her and they want to push his ass away. That also happens in business, where you're so needy, you don't need to be, but people feel it and they don't want to do business with you. But if you can fill up inside, you may not have all your goals yet, but if you're filled up inside and fulfilled, now you can attack that stuff with a different energy and people will feel it in you. Tell me this. What if you drew a line in the sand and made a real decision? A real decision that says, I'm burning the boats, this is how I'm gonna live my life. No matter what, I'm gonna find something to be a happy state about. You go, that sounds like positive thinking. Bullshit, really. When you're in a shitty state, you treat other people better or worse. Which one? When you're in a low-level, shitty state, you perform higher level, lower level. Are you a great lover or a lover in a lousy state? Now we're getting the important shit, aren't we? So the truth of the matter is, this is the whole game of life. But no one's taught it to us. You can learn 10 more million skills. I can teach you all once and master the science of achievement. I'm good at that shit. I can help you. You can go to many of the people inside me and learn as well. We're good at it. But if you're not fulfilled, the whole game is worthless, and the only option you're fulfilled or not is deciding I'm not going to live with those stressful thoughts. That doesn't mean I'm going to fight it. It just means when they come up, here's what I do. I've made a commitment. Here's my commitment. You decide how you want to language it if you decide to do it. You can decide tonight or not. If you don't decide tonight, you won't later. So decide, is this something you want to do? How would life be better if you lived in a beautiful state, if you found joy and love in anything, and if you got pissed off or frustrated, you let it go for the greater good. You found something else to appreciate, because you know in a better state, I'll come up with a better solution. How many believe that, by the way? Say aye. Faster, quicker, better. I used to think when I get pissed, my brain's razor sharp and I come up with answers. It's true, but when I'm happy, my brain's razor sharp and I come up with answers and I enjoy it. That's the difference in life. Who would want to be around you if you were in a beautiful state all the time? Who'd want to do business with you? Who'd want to be your friend? Who'd want to make love to you? That might be difficult. Right? How many follow this? How many get this stupid, simple thought? Could be life-changing if you really implement it here. Say aye. So here's how I've done it, because I don't have time for you to write it and go through the process, but I'll just plant 3 seeds. Write these 3 down if you want, if you're doing it. The first key, if you really want to have this new life, by the way, can shit be going crazy and you still have a good time, yes or no? Yes. Have you ever been in an argument, and in the middle of the argument, your brain got sane for a moment, and you saw how fucking stupid the argument was? But then you kept fucking arguing because you're in the gear. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Right? What I want you to do is break it when you see it, to get out of it and come back to the joy of life. And the way I did that is I did 3 things. Number 1, I made the decision. I decided life is too short to suffer. Who's with me on that? Say aye. If life is too short to suffer, then I have to see that my feeling sad or pissed off or worried, those are all forms of suffering. How many of you have been suffering over little shit or big shit? Raise your hand if it's really there, if you can see it, say aye. So the way you end suffering is you can't control the environment, but you can decide, I'm not gonna live there anymore, I'm gonna let it go and focus on what is beautiful and use that to keep moving forward. Who's with me on this? Say aye. So I wrote down what I decided, and I didn't just think it, I made it an event, and I wrote myself a full page why I'm gonna live in a beautiful state no matter what. Even people are unjust, even when when it rains on my parade, even when, whatever it is, horrible things happen. Because my being in a shitty state won't help those horrible things, or the people I care about. And once I convinced myself, write this down, I wrote down, reasons come first, answers come second. Jim Rohn used to teach me this, my teacher. He said, reasons come first, answers come second. If you get strong enough reasons to do something, you can get yourself to do it. If you get a big enough why, you can figure out how to do anything. Who's with me on it? Say aye. So tonight, if you're serious, don't even leave the damn building. Sit down for 5 minutes somewhere in the back, or sit in your car, or go to dinner and do it immediately, because you're gonna drop off. Right now you're in state. Then you're gonna have texts, phone calls, emails, conversations that'll knock you out of state. So normally I would do this here as like another hour. We don't have another hour, so I'm asking you, for those who want it, who's gonna do this for yourself? Say aye. So you write it, you decide, and that's part A. Part B of number one is you also then send 2 letters to people you respect. And you write the same letter and just alter it slightly if you want. But you write them a letter and you just say, listen, I want to tell you about a decision I made. I realized I never called it suffering. I was pissed off, or I was frustrated, I was worried all the time. It's a bad habit. It's getting in the way of the whole quality of my life. I'm not going to put up with that shit anymore. Now I know I have an old brain, and it will probably bring things up. And if you see me getting stressed out or doing what you see me do, please don't correct me, but as my friend, say, hey, you want to be in a beautiful state, or you want to be what you're in? Or whatever you want them to do, give it. And the value of doing this is twofold. If you go to 2 people you respect, what are your chances of following through? Increase or decrease? Increase. Plus, it's a gift to them. Because as they read your note, they'll think about their own life. See, if I start talking about my high school graduation, and I keep talking about it, you're going to think about yours. If I talk about my mom, you'll think of yours. When I take a room where I want it to go, I do it with stories. And I take you exactly where I want to go by telling you stories. But what I want you to do is take that story to your friend, because as they read this, they'll start to think about their own life. It'll be a seed. They might not change, but they might become your partner in doing this at some point. But at minimum, you put yourself on the line. How many are going to do this? I don't give a shit. It's not for me. It's only for you. How many are going to do this? Say aye. And if you want, you can send one of those letters to me, and I read all of them. I will not respond to all of them, or too many. But the reason I read them all is I want to see the pattern of what makes people frustrated. So you can send it to me at endsuffering.now@tonyrobbins.com. endsuffering.now@tonyrobbins.com. And you can even send me a letter you sent to a friend. It doesn't have to be addressed to me. I just want to get a feel for what you did and why you're doing it. Okay? So that's number one. Number 2, real fast. What's the second thing I do? Well, as soon as you set a target, you set a goal, you decide what you're going to do, obstacles come up. That's the nature of society. It's the nature of life. If you thought, this is what I want, you got it, this is what I want, you got it, this is what I want, you got it, and it happened all day and all night, you'd be bored shitless. So part of, like, if somebody said, hey, I got a book for you to read, I got a movie for you to go to, let me tell you the plot. In the beginning of the movie, the beginning of the story, the main character is like really happy and like really healthy, and they have beautiful relationships and tremendous love and great business success. That's how it starts. Halfway through the story, they're still really happy, they're still really successful, they have so much love in their life, it's just gorgeous. And at the end, they're really happy, and they're really successful, and they're really connected. Who's gonna go to that fucking movie? So, obstacles are gonna show up, so listen to me. The ultimate advantage in life and in business is anticipation. Write down, anticipation is power. Anticipation is power. And right below that, leaders anticipate, losers react. Leaders anticipate, losers react. Have you ever played a video game against a child? Have you ever made the fatal mistake of doing this? Who always wins? The child. They go, Dad, Uncle, Aunt, Mom, brother, sister, whoever, come play this game with me. No, I don't play this. No, come on, let me see. Oh, it's so easy. Choo. And they kill all these things. You go, oh, fine, I'll show this kid. Choo, and you're dead in 3 seconds. Is it true? And then they go, nice job. You should know you're being set up by them when they go, you go first. And then they go, choo, and 45 minutes later, you get your second shot. And you're humiliated. They go, screw it, I'm gonna do it this time. You're dead in 4 shots. They have another 45 minutes. Why? It's because they're younger and smarter and quicker? No, it's because they played this game so many times. Like this now, they know the road ahead. They know the road ahead so they can anticipate. You're reacting and you're dead. They know the first bad guy's on the left up because they played it so many times. They know the next bad guy's on the right down to the right. They know the next bad guy's up to the right. They go choo. You're reacting, you're dead. So if you're gonna be able to keep this beautiful state, number one, you gotta have strong enough reasons. And it's gonna take effort. It's a new skill. It's like a muscle, you gotta build it. It's not gonna be perfect to start with. You don't want to beat yourself up when you're not perfect. You want to get good at it because it will change your life more than anything. But second step, you then anticipate what's going to put you in a shitty state. Does that make sense? So I want you to write down, what are your 2 favorite flavors of suffering? What are your 2 favorite flavors of suffering? Meaning, we all have certain emotions we overuse. Some people it's frustration, some people it's anger, some people it's sadness, some people it's loneliness, some people it's worry. What do you tend to overuse? And I want you to jot it down on your own, and then notice what triggers you to do that. And when you get triggered, how do you feel and how do you act? So I'll give you an example, and then what's an alternative? So step 2, you need to anticipate. What are your favorite flavors of suffering? What are the sufferings that you overuse? The emotions you overuse negatively. When do they tend to get triggered? What do you do? And what I do in the opposite. So let me show you an example because we don't have time to do it. With me, I can remember early on when I had one company, not dozens of companies or 50 companies, and we weren't doing billions or even hundreds of millions, we were probably doing $2.5 million in sales. And I remember one day, a staff member came to me and they had this look in their eyes, like great angst, like they had to tell me something they didn't want to have to tell me. And they came up and they said, Mr. Robbins, I said, yeah, and they go, we seem to have misplaced $125,000 in cash. What the fuck? Was what my face said. My voice rose, I got upset, and for some reason, they never told me another problem again, ever. And so, my thing was, do I have a right to be upset? Yes or no?
Yes.
You have a right to be upset, but it won't make your life better. A lousy state won't make your life better. You have a right to have a lousy state, I'm not making you wrong, I had a right to be pissed, but it wasn't gonna improve things. In fact, it made it worse because in the future, the person's scared, so they don't want to share, so now they don't share until the problem's even bigger. So I thought to myself, okay, this is an example. I get frustrated and mad when people don't deliver because I want to give everything to my clients. And so I was like, okay, how do I do that in my body when it happens? What triggers me? They tell me something like this, and then I go, what the frustrated fucking shit. And so I said, I gotta change this. So I go, lost $125,000 in cash. That's fascinating. I found a similar word I could use to change my state. How did you lose so much money in such a short period of time? And what did I do? I broke my own what? My own pattern. How many follow this? I made myself laugh. In the meaning of laughing, I was able to find my resourcefulness. It made them not freak out. They didn't know what to do, but they kind of laughed a little bit. And then in that state, within about 2 hours, we found the money. All but 5,000. So, and I didn't go crazy over that. I took in the victory. How many follow this? Say I. So first step, decide, come up with a reason, send letters. Second step, anticipate what's gonna knock you off. See how you go in a lousy state. What are you gonna do instead? What are you gonna say and do instead and practice it? That's how you get good. And last one, you need a 90-second rule. You need a 90-second rule. Now, what do I mean by a 90-second rule? Well, it's not like I live in a beautiful state and I never get pissed off or frustrated or sad or worried or lonely or whatever the hell it is. I have my own emotions too, but when they happen, I catch the monster while it's a baby. See, you don't want to wait until the baby grows to Godzilla and eats your city. You want to take that pattern, what's a baby pattern, and knock it out right away. So what I'm sensitized to is, I know I'm suffering, you'll know you're suffering when tension enters your body. The minute I start to feel tension, I go, oh, suffering, Danielson. To be expected. I don't get mad that I'm suffering. I just know if there's tension, and oftentimes you don't even know what it is at first. So I go, okay, from this tension, what am I focused on? What am I thinking about? And then I'll realize there's one of these thoughts going by. It's not even my thought. Millions of people have had this thought. If you're really gonna be disturbed, at least come up with the original fucking thought. Don't copy everybody else. So I catch myself, and the way I do it is I take 3 slow, deep breaths. I just go. And I just imagine that thought going by, and going, an interesting thought. And then I immediately shift to something I'm grateful for or I can appreciate. It's too big a jump to go from suffering to happiness. But you can always go from suffering to appreciation. Is there always something you can appreciate in any moment of your life, yes or no? Yes. So to me, it became a game to say, how do I create ecstasy in this moment? In me. What do I gotta focus on? What do I gotta take in so that I can have the fun or the joy or the love or what right now? Because it's already in my life, I just need to pay attention to it, I need to focus on it, instead of just focusing on the future all the time. or what I can't control, or what's missing. How many follow this? Say ah. So that's the habit. And once you get the habit, it's a 90-second rule. It's like, I got 90 seconds to do this, and it's a game. And in the beginning, I wasn't very good. It should have been the 90-fucking-hour rule, or 90-minute rule. Some things I was good at. But for example, the mercury thing happened to me right after I made this decision. I saw this doctor, and he said, life as you know it is over. You've got spinal stenosis, you can't jump, you can't leap, you can't do snowboarding. I tore my rotator cuffs. He goes, it's over. You see the spine? One good hit, and you're quadriplegic. That kind of changed my beautiful state. I wasn't ready. Like, if you're ready, somebody punches you, it's okay. I wasn't ready. But I recovered quickly, thank God, because I was living this shit. I was like, I don't give a shit what he says. There is an answer. I'm not accepting this. And over the next 3 months, I found somebody in Australia who used hyperbaric oxygen to re-heal the spine. And that's how I also found out about the metals in my body, because I did a blood test before I went there, and they said, you're 123 of mercury on a 0 to 5 scale. We never measure it. You are burning out your brain. I was losing my short-term memory, and I got a pretty damn good memory. I usually get up and speak for 6-7 days with no notes. And I was like telling a story going, why the hell did I tell that story? What's going on here? It's weird for someone who's never had that. And I'm like, I'm a young man. And it disrupts your short-term memory. It disrupts your ATP, which is the source of energy, and then it destroyed my gut. And I'm having still, after all this time, I'm down from 123 down to 14, but it's on a 0 to 5 scale. So I'm still dealing with it. And so how I get here and be here with you is like, if I was in a beautiful state, you'd feel it. That's not right for you. You don't want to be around some guy whining about the shit. I told you enough because I didn't want to collapse and have you freak out and I want to stress you out if something happened to me. But I've made it through this. I've caught myself along the way and stayed in a beautiful state. You can do with anything if you just make it 90 seconds, right? Give it 90 seconds.